clouds above the fortress. The sun, a blocky disk in an endless sky, cast long shadows over the jagged peaks of the world below. For Kyle, a lone adventurer, whose pickaxe had known the deepest mines and whose sword had cleaved the most fearsome beasts, the horizontal world had begun to feel small. He sought a new challenge, a legend whispered not in musty libraries, but by the wind that whistled through mountain passes, a fortress, built by no known hand, floating impossibly high above the very clouds. Many dismissed it as a fever dream, an optical illusion caused by distant peaks shrouded in mist, but Kale, with the glint of an adventurer's madness in his eye, saw the faint dark silhouette against the pale morning sky. It was there, a shadow amongst shadows, beckoning. His current mountain perch, itself a dizzying ascent, was merely a stepping stone. The true climb was yet to begin. Months he spent preparing, not just gathering iron for tools or diamonds for armor, but felling entire forests for wood, smelting mountains of cobblestone into smooth stone, and meticulously crafting stacks upon stacks of ladders and scaffolding. He even fashioned a potent potion of slow falling, a silent prayer against the inevitable, should gravity claim its due. His inventory became a meticulously organized arsenal of ascension. Hundreds of ladders, dense bundles of scaffolding, a water bucket for emergency descents, a powerful bow, and a sword gleaming with enchantments against the unseen dangers of the upper atmosphere. The day came, a clear, crisp morning, perfect for a vertical journey. Kale stood on the highest natural peak, took a deep, fortifying breath, and began to build. Block by block, pillar by pillar, he rose. The world beneath him receded, an intricate mosaic of biomes and distant villages. The air grew colder, thinner, the sound of the wind a constant lonesome companion. Hours turned into days. He built small, precarious platforms for rest, sheltered alcoves where he could cook a piece of pork chop and watch the sunset beneath him, a sight few eyes had ever witnessed. The ascent was a test of endurance, both physical and mental. Zombies, their vacant eyes glaring, occasionally spawned on his scaffoldings, attempting to shove him into the void. Skeletons, their bows creaking, fired arrows that whistled past his ears, forcing him to duck and weave, clinging desperately to the rough stone. One afternoon, a creeper, its fuse hissing ominously, appeared directly behind him. Kale, with a surge of adrenaline, swung his diamond sword, sending the green terror plummeting into the unseen depths below. A close call. Too close. He clutched his pickaxe tighter, his knuckles white. Then came the clouds. Not the fluffy wisps that drifted lazily through the mid-sky, but a dense, swirling ocean of white. He built blindly now, relying on the muted thud of blocks connecting. Visibility dropped to mere feet. The fortress, once a distant silhouette, became a ghost, its form fleetingly glimpsed through breaks in the fog, always seeming just a little higher, a little further. The cold bit at his exposed skin, and he shivered, not from fear, but from the sheer, desolate height. It was in this swirling shroud that the unexpected guardians truly began to manifest. Not in direct combat, but in subtle, unnerving ways. Blocks would vanish from his path, not breaking, but simply gone. A section of his carefully constructed ladder would mysteriously disappear just as his foot reached for it, forcing a desperate scramble to regain purchase. He would find himself momentarily disoriented, turned slightly off course from his upward trajectory. Kyle, always pragmatic, initially blamed fatigue or spatial illusion, until he saw it. A tall, dark figure, its eyes glowing purple, stood for a fleeting moment on a distant, barely visible spire of the fortress itself, far above him. It was an Enderman, not just observing, but seemingly manipulating. the very blocks of the world around him. It blinked out of existence, only to reappear moments later, much closer, at the edge of his peripheral vision, before teleporting away again. The creature was not attacking, not directly. It was playing. A mischievous, ethereal trickster. It seemed to find Kale's desperate climb a source of endless amusement. The blocks disappearing, the disorientation. It was the Enderman's work. A silent, taunting challenge. Kale clenched his jaw, refusing to be deterred by a mere prankster of the void. His resolve hardened. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of upward toil, the clouds began to thin slightly. Through a swirling vortex of white, the fortress revealed itself. It was massive, far grander than any structure he had ever seen. Built of dark, polished deep slate and ancient-looking blackstone, it resembled a series of interconnected spires and platforms, all suspended in defiance of gravity. Ornate carvings, weathered by time and the elements, adorned its walls, depicting symbols Kale had never encountered. It was clearly not of this realm, or at least not of this time. An immense, arched entrance, seemingly carved directly from the cloud layer, beckoned. With the last of his scaffolding, Kale bridged the final gap, his boots landing on solid, impossibly high ground. The air, though still thin, felt different here, charged with an ancient energy. The Enderman, unseen for minutes, shimmered into existence just inside the entrance, its long limbs twitching almost imperceptibly, its gaze fixed on Kyle. Then it blinked away, deeper into the fortress, a silent invitation. The interior was a labyrinth of echoing corridors and vast, silent chambers. Light was scarce, filtering in only through narrow high windows that offered dizzying glimpses of the cloud sea below. No standard mobs roamed here. Instead, Kale encountered the fortress's true guardians, towering figures of obsidian and darkstone, roughly humanoid in shape, but with a vacant, powerful presence. These golems, unlike any iron golem Kyle had ever faced, moved with slow, ponderous steps, but their fists, when they connected, struck with devastating force, sending vibrations through the very structure of the fortress. Kale used his bow, peppering them with enchanted arrows, or lured them into narrow passages where he could chip away at their stone forms with his pickaxe, slowly, methodically. Each encounter was a battle of attrition, a test of his patience and his limited supplies. He navigated crumbling bridges over seemingly bottomless chasms, triggered ancient redstone traps that shot flaming arrows from hidden dispensers, and solved simple pressure plate puzzles that unlocked heavy stone doors. The Enderman would occasionally appear, teleporting a vital block from a walkway, or shifting a lever just as Kale reached for it, a silent chuckle echoing in the vast, empty halls. Kale, however, learned to anticipate its playful sabotage, often pausing to see if a block would vanish before committing his weight, or carefully examining a switch before activating it. The journey culminated in a vast central chamber, illuminated by an eerie purple glow emanating from a single, impossibly large block of some unknown, shimmering ore in the center. Guarding it was the largest golem yet, easily twice the height of the others, its obsidian body interwoven with veins of the same glowing purple material. Its eyes, twin points of malevolent light, fixed on Kyle the moment he entered. This was no mere guardian. This was the core defender. The battle was a dance of evasion and calculated strikes. The massive golem moved with surprising speed for its size, its obsidian fists creating shockwaves that buckled the stone floor. Kyle drank his last potion of strength, his sword becoming a blur of enchanted steel against the dark stone. He dodged its sweeping attacks, scaled crumbling pillars to gain high ground, and rained down arrows when he could. He noticed the glowing veins in its body pulsed with energy before each devastating blow. Targeting these, Kyle poured all his remaining strength into shattering them one by one. With a final, desperate lunge, Kale's sword connected with the last glowing vein. The golem shuddered, a deep rumble resonating through the chamber, and then, with a slow, grinding collapse, it disintegrated into a pile of dark, inert fragments. Silence descended, broken only by Kale's ragged breath. He approached the glowing block. It was not ore, not really. It pulsed with a soft, inviting light, humming with an almost musical frequency. It was a cloud core, as the ancient carvings on the chamber walls seemed to imply. It wasn't gold or diamonds, or even a legendary weapon. But as Kyle carefully dislodged it, a strange sensation enveloped him. The air around him shimmered. He felt lighter, as if the very essence of the clouds now resonated within him. The Enderman shimmered into existence near the entrance, its head tilted, its purple eyes seeming to gleam with a new, almost respectful curiosity. It didn't vanish this time, merely observed Kale, the cloud core now safely tucked into his inventory. The prankster had witnessed the triumph. Descending was easier, yet still perilous. Kale found new confidence in his steps, his exhaustion mitigated by the quiet hum of the cloud core. He navigated his carefully constructed scaffolding downwards, the cloud layer parting to reveal the vibrant world below. He saw his original peak, now a tiny speck. He finally reached the solid ground he had left so long ago, his boots sinking into the familiar grass. The sun was setting again, painting the sky in fiery hues. Kyle looked up, not at the sky, but where the fortress still hovered, now a distant, impossibly small silhouette against the fading light. He had conquered the unreachable, faced the unknown, and found not conventional treasure, but a deeper connection to the sky itself. The cloud core felt warm against his side, a silent promise of new adventures, a flight, perhaps, or simply a testament to the fact that even in a world of endless blocks, there were still mysteries waiting to be touched by those brave enough to reach for the clouds.